Live from New York, this is WIUR Radio.
Hello and good morning to the Weekend Sports Recap. I'm your host, Isaiah Rosario, for our last show of the semester. It's kind of crazy that we are even talking about that. It's our last show of the semester, and I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity. It's been a great about 11 weeks being able to talk to you guys about everything that happened in sports over the past 3 days, and I'm grateful for every single one of you that's tuned in and listen to my show and listen to this 5'6" kid from New Jersey just yap about sports, something that he's been passionate about since he was little. So I'm excited to get started. A lot of big things that happened this week, at least in the college side, because wow, what a weekend! What a weekend! I will say that, to say the least. A couple really big upsets, a couple really good games, and then the number one thing everyone's talking about, at least this weekend, was the Lane Kiffin saga and his future at Ole Miss. It was decided this past weekend, and I think that's where we'll start off. We'll start off with some college football, and I think the first thing we want to talk about is Lane Kiffin officially saying that he is leaving Ole Miss to coach at LSU. Am I happy about it? I don't think so. I really despise Lane Kiffin now. I'm not really happy with that decision. He built a powerhouse of a program in Mississippi at Ole Miss. He built a team really from nothing to being a team that's going to get into the college football playoffs. And my question is, why decide it like right before the playoffs hit that, yes, I'm going to leave? And I know you want to build your roster as early as possible, but you're going to get all your kids from Ole Miss to join you at LSU. And LSU isn't even going to make the college football playoffs. They weren't even close this season to making the college football playoffs. And you're leaving to Ole Miss to join LSU and go to Baton Rouge. Why? Especially at this point in the season, you could have waited till the college football playoffs. I know it's probably about a month that you're gonna have to wait, but that would have been more leverage for you if you won a game, excuse me, in the college football playoffs, and you were able to win a few games. You would probably make a few more bucks, I think, at LSU or Ole Miss. Ole Miss said they were going to match the money, but the problem is I don't think Ole Miss was going to be able to match what he was going to get in NIL. And that's what is concerning as an Ole Miss fan. So I don't know if you're going to be able to compete at this high of level now that all your chips are gone at Ole Miss, but we'll see. I think I'm not very happy late by our co-host Nick here. So I was just talking about Lane Kiffin going to LSU.
Oh boy, that's
Yeah, I was telling the listeners that I wasn't very happy about him going to LSU. He built a power program there and at Ole Miss and decides to leave for a couple more bucks, and the fans weren't pretty happy. Fans say, "Oh, they understand a paycheck's a paycheck," but like when your athletic department was going to match what LSU was giving you, I think it's
a
tough.
no-brainer.
Yeah, and
Also LSU, I could be mistaken by this. Let me check the rankings real quick. LSU is not a playoff team.
no, they are not a playoff team.
So my whole idea behind this is that, like, I understand all things considered, like, money is money, and in today's sports world, it's all about money. College basketball is, in my eyes, being ruined by money. College sports, now it's not only on the players or not only on the coaches, because the coaches are being paid to win games, but it's now on the players. Because if a player like Bryce Underwood, Michigan, he's getting a buck from Michigan NIL wise, and Lane Kiffin going to LSU. My opinion on it is that him kind of leaving on a sour note and being like in his decision. I don't know if you saw this. He said, "Oh, I've requested from the Ole Miss athletic department to continue coaching the team through the playoffs and then leave after the season's done."
Yeah, no, I would never allow him to coach. I would never allow him to coach. Even I know your team is going to look to have you coach, and they probably want you to coach. But as an athletic department, you need to make a statement saying that you left our program right as we had the best season of possibly their whole organization,
Yep.
right? 11 wins on the season, beating Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl. It's just not right at all. And I agree completely with the athletic department saying, no, you cannot coach. You left our program as we are inching close to the college football playoffs because that's a team that's going to get in.
Yep.
And you leave
number
them
6 in the country.
I don't agree with the decision at all, but
Yeah,
that's
as
Lane
of-
Kiffin's decision. And it was made at around 1 a.m. on Sunday. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't agree with it, but that's where I stand. But another game that was big, I think got most traction this weekend was Ohio State finally getting over the hump and beating Michigan after felt like a decade of not beating.
I would like to take this moment to publicly apologize to the entire Ohio State fan base, including Julian Sayin. I believe he is a good quarterback, and I believe they are a pretty good team. Do I think they're going to beat Notre Dame if they play again? No, but that's a separate story.
I mean, that's the number one defense in the league right there, holding a decent offense in Michigan to 9 points. Their Ohio State defense averages less than 10 points allowed per game. That's going to be a team that's dangerous, and I'm interested to see. We'll get into a little bit later with a little bit of rankings, maybe of.
That's insane. I just looked at their schedule. The most amount of points they've given up this season in a single game is 16 against Illinois, which is absurd. Like against ranked opponents, you're winning by 20 plus.
No, Ohio State's defense is insane, and their offense too can score. I mean,
you don't need to. Truthfully, they're not putting like a few of the games. They didn't put up crazy numbers, but they didn't need to. Like against Purdue, they only put up like I know I'm saying only because I'm used to Notre Dame's 70-7 blowout of Syracuse last week. But if you couldn't tell, I'm a Notre Dame fan. But Purdue put up 34 points, but the defense again held them to 10. So you didn't have to put up that crazy of a scoring game. If it was something where like half the defense gets injured and then you have to kind of maneuver your way through the playoffs with Julian Sayin, I trust that Julian Sayin could win a football game just single-handedly. I think he could. I do think they have backups too for their defense that are as good.
I mean, they're all 5 stars on that roster. I
these
would
are
think
just
5 or 4
insane.
stars that is up and down that roster. Looking at that game, Ohio State had to be a little close with Michigan in that first half, but then I guess not even in the first half. I would say that first quarter, and then Michigan couldn't do anything on offense, and then Ohio State really just pulled away in that second quarter and the rest of the game. So it wasn't really a game, but
There's a viral clip from that. I don't know if you saw
from the mascot.
No, it
Oh.
wasn't. Well, yeah, I saw the mascot one where he drew Ohio and crushed out the Michigan. In the
Yeah,
snow,
that's
but
crazy.
That's insane. But also another thing is that when Ohio State won the game, they celebrated with their fans. They sat in like the bleachers and like let their fans kind of engulf them.
That's
And
crazy to
then-
do in the big house
And
too.
then Michigan was guarding the M. And then
That's
all
as you
the-
should,
the
'cause
enti- the entire Ohio State, sorry to cut you off, Ohio State staff and everything, they were preventing them from planting the Ohio State flag on the M because that would have been insane.
Oh, that would have caused a little bit of
If
fights and
Jeremiah Smith-
interactions
if
post
Jeremiah
game.
Smith or I think I said that right, Jeremiah Smith, like the 5-star
Mhm.
wide receiver. If him or Julian Sayin went out to the middle and just went like this, that would have gone viral. If someone got a video of that, that would be.
I'm glad they were guarding the M. I'm not a Michigan fan, but that rivalry as I think one of the
I'm not an
heatest.
Ohio State guy, but they are a good team. They're 12-0.
That's one of the more heated rivalries. Michigan State and not Michigan State, Ohio State and Michigan is one of the heated rivalries in the college football world, and that would have caused some issues. And I'm glad Michigan really held their ground there because I think fights would have been brewing if Ohio State decided to plant a flag. And the Ohio State coaching staff also said, no, let's celebrate in the locker room, which is a correct thing to do and a respect thing to do. You want to respect the rivalry and you don't want to cause issues for next year. Because if that happened this year, I could see next year's game being very, very, very chippy. And there's going to be some fights that brew. And
It's always going to be chippy because
those teams actually like hate each other. It's
I
not like
mean-
one of the rivalries where it's like, oh, one of the school rivalries. Say
it's
like
not like Fordham and Iona where they are like. Well, I know this is completely different, but like it's not Fordham and Iona is a big rivalry, and you don't see like just like at the end of them they making peace and like they're friends with each other. These two teams like
hate
everyone
each other.
hate
Their
like,
schools hate each other. Everyone hates each other.
I mean, there's this guy I was watching after the game. His name's Caden Davis. He was a walk-on or preferred walk-on at Ohio State and quit the football team to like pursue social media and like pursue marketing and digital stuff. And he posted something like criticizing the Michigan bookstore during the big game, wearing like a bright yellow sweatshirt, and and someone wrote in the comments, "Typical OSU education," and I'm like, wow. And then, but yeah, these two teams, I want to see like a fist fight or something.
I mean,
but
there's been fist fights in the past.
I don't know if you saw they sing "Mr. Brightside."
Every Michigan home game.
That's pretty crazy. But
And another two teams that you could look at that do hate each other is Auburn versus Bama. What a game that was. It was very
Auburn,
close.
unranked, taking it down to the wire with the number 10 team in the
I mean,
country.
for that rivalry, no matter what, Auburn could be or Bama could be 2-7 or 2-8, whatever. And then the game's gonna be close because those two teams always end up playing a close game, and that was a close game. They were back and forth most of the game, and then Auburn got that late touchdown, and then we saw a
like the
fumble
big
there from Bama that screwed them over. I mean, they had another shot with like less than a minute left.
Yeah,
'Cause they did a 3 and out.
They had a special thing for like the veterans at halftime. My uncle, I was actually at a family dinner on Saturday night, and my uncle was talking about how his friend was on the field being honored at halftime.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I find that really cool, even though it's not Veterans Day or anything. Little Thanksgiving thank you to the veterans who served our country. But yeah, I think Auburn I think Auburn like you said, it's always gonna be a dogfight whenever
It's always gonna be a dogfight when those
whenever-
two teams play.
Yeah,
It's never
and
not
then,
gonna be a close game.
I mean, these bowl games or the championship games is
Yeah,
gonna be crazy.
I'm
Georgia
excited.
versus Alabama, and then the game of the year.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that. There's one more
Yeah.
game we gotta talk about, and then we'll yap about the college football playoffs. I think the next game that was very good on the roster or not on the roster, on the lineup was UT versus Vandy. I want to talk about that game because of Diego Pavia. He's a good QB. I think he should be up there in Heisman conversations, but he's not going to be up there with
Fernando
Mendoza and I forgot the other one. Sayin, I think he's also up there.
Saying no offense should not be a Heisman.
Yeah,
I
no, the
think- I
stats
think-
don't line up. I think it's just a weird, not a great
Fernando
year for
Mendoza.
QBs, but Diego Pavia is good. But he talks a talk and glazes the heck out of himself. Like every
Yeah.
single post on social media is about him and nothing but him and him winning the Heisman. Every single touchdown he gets does the Heisman pose. He did the Heisman pose again at Knoxville.
His brother, Javier, got arrested for the second.
Oh, yeah,
time
public
during the season.
intoxication.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Which I'm
know.
Like, it's
That
almost
Pavia
like
family
it's-
is one of a kind. Even his mom is something. Mom's something else. She's always at every game, glamoring about her
Okay.
son.
He's a good quarterback, but you're not as good as Fernando Mendoza when you're 18 of 28, 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And then Fernando Mendoza, in my opinion, is the Heisman winner. I think he's going to win the Heisman, but
I think it's going to be because that Indiana team was never known to be great, and then Fernando Mendoza really put
Mendoza
them over the
doesn't even
top.
need to be that like he's good, but he doesn't need to be that insane because like
The Indiana
I mean,
offense
oh
can
my
score
gosh.
points no matter who they face.
he didn't score less than 100 yards. He didn't throw for less than 100 yards the entire season.
I mean, that's not a lot in college, 100 yards. I would be happy with like over 175, over 200 per game. At least
most of the
throwing.
game- he had 332 yards passing against I think it was Michigan State. Yep. And a 38-13 win.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a good battle. I mean, those were the 3 key games that I saw looking at the slate. Again, another one was SMU no longer in contention for the college football playoffs because they missed a field goal against Cal.
That's so unfortunate.
Game tying field goal to send it to overtime, and they just missed it. He shanked it completely right. You could tell from the moment the ball was kicked that ball was not going through the goalpost. It was way far to right, and now they're not going to make the college football playoffs, and we'll talk about it now that we brought it up. Look, no other crazy games that we want to talk about. But I think the other one also I forgot to mention. I don't know how I forgot this one. Texas beating Texas A&M handily in that second half. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. If they get into the college football playoffs and their offense continues to play the way that they've played the last 2 weeks, they'll cause problems because that offense is good. And Arch Manning can be a good QB when he wants to be a good QB.
when he wants to. It's the
But I
key
mean,
word.
he had a couple good passes against A&M on Friday, and he also had a great run touchdown, and he had that swagger to him. And now that's the last game I think we're gonna talk about until we get into, or not
Yeah.
until we get into, but now that we could get into the
Spoiled
college football.
Texas A&M was number 3 in the country, and Texas spoiled their perfect season. They would have been 12-0.
But they're still gonna get in. I mean,
That's crazy though.
yeah,
That's
that's crazy.
insane.
But I think now we could get into a little bit more. Yeah, I forgot to have that game on my itinerary. I don't know how I forgot about that game because that was one of the biggest upsets. I think now we could get into
Ohio State, Indiana.
the college football playoffs and get into the championship weekend. I think Ohio State's gonna blow Indiana out of the water.
I think Indiana is going to knock off Ohio State.
That's
at
gonna be a
Ohio
good
State.
game. I think it's in 2 weeks, right? Or is it next week, the championship games? I don't even remember. Let me just make sure.
It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So we'll have 1 week of no college football.
Oh no. It's next week.
Next week, like this
It's
Saturday.
December 5th starts with American Championship Tulane and
Oh, okay, so
North
it
Texas.
is.
Yep.
It is
And
next week.
Saturday is BYU, Texas Tech,
Okay, so yeah.
UGA, Bama, Indiana.
So it is
Ohio
championship week.
State, Yep. And
So I'm gonna pull up.
Duke is in the ACC championship.
So that's what I was gonna get into.
Good
Now that
lord.
SMU lost, Duke is the ACC championship is Duke versus Virginia, and that's a game no one's gonna want to watch.
Duke beat UVA and make the college football playoff.
I don't think Duke is. If they get in, if they beat UVA, I don't think Duke is gonna get in. I mean, they could get in, but
Isn't it all the conference championships?
top 5 Power 4 or top 5 Power Conference, something like
Isn't
that.
ACC a power conference?
It is, but I don't know. The ACC is
If
good.
Duke makes it into the college football playoff, I will sue the
I mean, they're gonna
the
have
college-
to if they're a power. I mean, Duke at 7-5, yeah, because they were 6-2 in conference play, and it all depends on conference play more or less. Like you could go absolutely horrendous in non-conference play, but if you go win out in conference play, you're gonna get into the playoff, the championship.
You know
So
who looked horrible, by the way?
who?
Syracuse against Boston College. That was this week too. Speaking of ACC,
Oh, that game doesn't really have any
I know but
ramifications for
Boston
anything.
Syracuse should be winning that. Boston College was
Yeah,
1
Fran
and
Brown is
16
not
in a
doing
row.
much with that organization right now.
ACC's kind of going to the dumps.
I said that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That ACC is one of the worst conferences I've seen in a long time for football, and I just pray to God. So we'll go over who we think is winning, but I want to say first, I think the ACC is a joke in college football, and I pray to God Miami doesn't get in because if they do, I just want them to get smoked in the opening round
Wait, I'm so confused. Why is Virginia and Duke the ACC championship?
because it goes by conference record and then like the tiebreakers and stuff like that. So even if Miami's ranked, they're not going to get in.
Oh shoot! Yeah, it's
It all depends on the top 2 in the conference
Duke
with tiebreakers and
Duke,
everything.
Pitt, Georgia Tech, Duke, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, Miami, and SMU are all 6-2 in conference. And Duke somehow is.
Yeah, I don't know how they held the tiebreaker, but they and Virginia are the two because I know
Virginia's 7-1. So
yeah, so they were gonna get in. Duke had I was like beating Louisville, and then Miami lost to Louisville Pitt, something along those lines. But we could give our predictions real quick for
sure.
the championship weekend that is going to take place this weekend. A lot of good games. So first one is going to be Friday at 8:00. This game is going to determine the Power 5 winner. North Texas or Tulane. I like North Texas in this matchup, even though it's pretty much a home game for Tulane.
I think Jake. Wow, who's this guy? Drew Mestamaker. Interesting.
So I'm gonna go
number
UNT.
20. North Texas is ranked since
Show some
when?
mid-major some love, you know.
Jeez. Okay. I think Tulane's gonna win. I think it's not even gonna be close.
The over/under in that game is 67.5. Oh my God, there's gonna be points scored in that game. Jeez, I've never seen almost a 70-point spread or a 70-point over/under, which is
so
crazy.
I think Tulane takes that one.
And then next we're gonna go Texas Tech BYU. That's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a sneaky game. I really like BYU to keep it close in that. But I do like Tech to beat BYU.
Tech beat them 2 weeks ago handily, 29-7. So I think Texas Tech. It's not even gonna be close in my opinion.
And then another really good game, which I'm so excited to watch, is Georgia Alabama. I think Bama's rolling high right now. It's gonna be pretty much a home game for Georgia. They're playing at Mercedes Benz, back-to-back weeks playing at Mercedes Benz. So I don't even think I guess they travel back to Athens for a few days and then go back to Georgia to Atlanta.
I like Georgia in that.
I like Bama. Bama's rolling high right now. I think didn't they lose to
Georgia lost to Bama earlier in the season, but it was like a fourth week of the season now. So I got UGA in this one.
Oh, Bama beat Georgia by
Yeah.
3.
Oh, well, yeah, it was early in the season, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, fourth week or whatever. I got UGA though overall.
I got Bama in that one. We'll look back at it.
We'll see. We'll see next Monday. It's or are you gonna be gone by then?
I'll be gone. This is the last show of the semester for me.
Unfortunate.
And then the 8 o'clock games now. Indiana versus Ohio State. I think Ohio State offense is going to cause issues for the Indiana defense.
I think I'm gonna keep rolling with kind of the punches here. I'm gonna go Indiana to take down Ohio State. I think Indiana, Fernando Mendoza is just gonna outplay Julian Sand. I don't think the Ohio State defense has played against a QB like Fernando Mendoza, and I don't think that they're gonna be able to stop him. I think Indiana takes this by at least 7 points.
The thing that concerns me about Indiana is they had a really big win against Oregon, yes, but they didn't really face Illinois, but Illinois, yeah, they fell off pretty much very quickly. I don't know if they had enough competition to be ready for a team like Ohio State.
We'll see. I think that they're going to prepare like this is like a Super Bowl type game for them.
It is a Super Bowl type game for them, even though they will get in.
I think Indiana will take down Ohio State.
And then the last one, the weirdest one of the weekend, Duke versus Virginia.
I don't think Duke even has a shot in this.
I mean, it's projected to be a close game. I don't know. That's such a weird game because SMU, even if SMU won, they would have faced Virginia. So that still would have been a weird ACC championship game because Miami absolutely blew the bed. So in that game, Virginia's ranked 18th. Virginia's protected a win. I guess just give me Virginia in that game. I don't know if I'll be watching that. I'll be watching Indiana versus Ohio State at 8 o'clock.
I don't think anyone's going to be watching a UVA Duke at 8 p.m.
Something that's interesting looking back on is there's a team in every single championship game that's practically a home game. Tech is playing in Texas. Georgia's playing in Georgia. Indiana's playing in Indiana. And then Duke is playing in North Carolina. So they're pretty much playing in home arenas, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's a neutral site, but it's
it's a home game for every single conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at the AP poll, I think there is like 7 teams that are locks right now. Ohio State's a lock. Indiana's a lock. Tech is a lock. UGA is a lock.
Notre Dame's a lock.
I don't know. Yeah, I think they're a lock. Oregon's a lock.
Is it?
And then Ole Miss is a lock. The only issue is, right, you can't if you're a Notre Dame fan, you can't have upsets because those are bid stealers. Like say if one of the teams, if Bama beats Georgia, I mean those are 2 teams that I think are maybe locked in, but if Bama loses, they could find a way out. But I don't think so.
How do they determine who the
12 is?
Yeah.
It's a committee that decides.
I think everyone's out to get Notre Dame after last season.
Let me see if they have college football playoff locks. Because I think there's like 7 teams that are locks. Let me see. So yeah, I think the top 7 are locks right now with Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia Tech, Oregon, A&M, and Ole Miss are locks. And then you have the Power 5 team too, right? So that only really leaves like 4 or 5 spots to get in. And Notre Dame's not going to be playing. So they got to pray, right, that there's no bid stealers. Like you got to hope and pray that BYU doesn't win, right? Because if BYU wins, they're going to get in and then Tech is still, I think, going to get in at 11-1. That's the only one that I could really see being maybe a Georgia, a Bama beating a Georgia, but Georgia's going to get in. So I think that's the only one. You got to pray that BYU doesn't win. Because if BYU wins, then Tech, I think, is still going to stay in. So who knows what's going to happen? And I think a couple teams that, in my opinion, that I really like, and I think that should sneak in at least the at large, and or at least should be in conversation. Vandy and Texas should be in conversation again at large.
I think if it comes down to Notre Dame or Vanderbilt, Notre Dame should get in. And I think if it comes down to
I think Notre Dame is
Texas,
going to get in because they're lucky that they're not playing this weekend. Because if they lost, it's going to kick them out.
if Texas play if Bama wins, I don't think Texas is making it in. BYU wins, I don't think Texas is making it in.
So, like, if you look at the top 11, Oklahoma could easily get kicked out too, but I don't think they're going to get kicked out. I mean, I think the 12 could be set.
Oregon's been like a dog. Who's their quarterback?
That's a good question. I can't say it off the top of my head right now, but let's see. Oh, Mateer, yeah. How did I forget it was Mateer?
Oh,
yeah, he's not a good QB. But so yeah, I mean, looking at
they didn't even play him for the last 2 weeks.
Mateer,
Yeah,
he played versus LSU. He had 308.
Oregon's quarterback.
Oh, Oregon. I thought we were talking about. Are we talking about Oregon or Oklahoma?
I was asking who Oregon's quarterback.
Oh wow, I was not listening at all. My fault. I thought you said Oklahoma there for a second.
Dante Moore. Who is that?
I have no clue.
He's a sophomore from Michigan.
So, as you, for a Notre Dame fan, you got to pray that there's no upsets in the championship. Because the only one is BYU, in my opinion, that could steal a bid is BYU. If they win, they're gonna have to get in because they're
the
top.
only underdog I'm rooting for right now or hoping to get in is I hope Ohio State gets.
Ohio State's going to be the number 1 seed or number 2 seed in that. So I think that looking at my notes quickly before we wrap up, I think that's it. That's all we could we're going to talk about for college football. Now we could go to NFL. It was a light week in NFL this week. Started on Thursday with a couple really good Thursday day and Thursday night games. First game being Detroit versus Green Bay. Detroit really looks lost right now. They got a big game coming up now against Dallas. I think that if they win that game, they'll still be in. But even I think a loss is gonna really determine their season and if they're even gonna get into the playoffs. And Detroit doesn't look good this year. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, they face tough opponents, yes, don't get me wrong, but they're not the offense that they were last year. I mean, it's really shocking to see how one team could flip switch, and another team that also flips switch that we'll get into is the Eagles. We'll get into, but
quick question: why is this like opposite? Why is it like this opposite year? It's the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jaguars, and the Ravens who are the top 4 seeds.
Because it's the Young Guns. I think the Young Guns are officially taking over in the NFL.
I mean, Bo Nix.
He had a really good game
Drake
yesterday.
May. Trevor Lawrence is still the quarterback.
The Young Guns, man, they're taking over. Even though I'm not high on T-Law though. Still, I don't know. I'm not high on him at all. But
you're not high on who?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he's an average QB at best in my opinion.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is like as good as people think he is.
No,
He's not.
Absolutely
He's
not.
kind of washed. He's definitely washed since he's come out of Clemson. But
so yeah, I think then we'll start at least with the weekend. I know there was a Cowboys big win against the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, and then Joe Burrow is officially back. He changes that. He changes that Bengals offense. Excuse me. They look like a completely different team when Burrow's under center, and I'm happy he's back. He wants to play, and I know the reporter asked him why come back when your team is, I think, 3-8 at the year as they sat before the game, and he's like, I love the game. People coming to watch me play, so I'm gonna suit up if I can. That's a great answer. And they demolished Baltimore. So now
close.
no, and now we'll go to the Friday game, which was
the
Bears beating the Eagles. That Eagles offense is awful, like so bad. They could either score or they don't score. There's no in between. There's no medium with that team. And for the weapons, I said that last week too. With the weapons they have, it's not acceptable to be performing that bad. AJ Brown is picking it up. I saw an AI video of this, like AJ Brown being so happy the fact that he's getting targets. It's like, but they're losing. It's like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm still getting targets, so it don't matter. Let's keep doing this. I was like, AI is crazy, but it's crazy that that's probably what he's thinking, right?
An AI video of Ryan Day, the Ohio State quarterback, going up. He's like, oh, Ryan Day's about to shake the hand of Michigan's quarterback. Oh my God, he punched him in the face.
AI goes crazy now. But again, that offense is so inconsistent. I don't know how. I would be really frustrated if I'm an Eagles fan. Like, it's actually concerning how inconsistent that group is.
The
Right?
NFC North, the NFC East is the most inconsistent group of teams ever.
I mean, hey, could there be a world if Dallas's toughest matchup is this weekend against Detroit, right? If they win that game, hot take, there's a world where they overtake the what is it called? They overtake the Eagles in the NFC East. There's a
The
world.
Broncos are technically, or the
Yeah, they were the first team eliminated.
2-10. Jackson Dart comes back and he wins the game for them. I think they beat the Patriots tonight.
And then the Colts and Daniel Jones falling off. I mean, their offense looked very iffy yesterday. Couldn't really get anything going. I know it could also be a little bit about the Daniel Jones injury and that fractured fibula. Just wasn't very mobile yesterday.
What
I
is a
watched.
fractured fibula?
I think it's
Like in your
like a
leg or
small
something?
bone in like your foot or just above the foot in your ankle. So he wasn't very mobile yesterday. They couldn't really get anything going offensively. They had a couple good deep passes. I think they got screwed on a couple calls last night. Not last night, during the day. I think there was a pass interference call that wasn't called, or am I thinking of the wrong game? I think I am thinking of the wrong game because I watched the Bills Chargers for the 4 o'clock. Yeah, so there was like pass interference the fans weren't very happy about. There was also a what was it? Delay a game that wasn't called because the ball was not snapped. The clock hit 0-0, and then CJ Stroud snapped the ball after the fact. So there was a couple plays that screwed over the Colts. So if I'm a Colts fan, I'm not very happy about that. But yeah, then a couple teams that are interesting to see how they look right now is the Panthers. They upset the Rams yesterday, which is a big upset. I saw one Twitter post like, "Oh, what's your hot take for the week?" And once guy said Carolina Panthers are going to keep it close, the Carolina Panthers could win the football game, and they did win the football game. I mean, that was just, I think, the magic wearing off for the Rams.
Matthew, do you think they try to like? I was actually listening to something. I came back to school this morning, and my dad was. We were listening to ESPN on the radio this morning, and the hot take was, "Oh, do you think the Rams are going to try to pick a new quarterback, or still try to build around?"
They're going to build around Stafford. That's my opinion. I don't know what you think, but I mean, I would draft a QB because there are going to be some decent QBs in this draft class. But they're going to be late in the drafts. But I would pick something now so you could have him watch Stafford and see how he grows with being the backup to Stafford. And we'll see. I mean, it's going to be late in the draft, so we'll see. A lot of teams up high need a QB, so we'll see. We'll be interested to see who goes. And now with the Rams losing them, I didn't think I would say this a year from, like, not a year from now, but at this point last year, I don't think anyone could tell me, and I would believe him, that the Chicago Bears would be the #1 team in the NFC. I would think you're insane after how bad they played last year. And
Caleb
now,
Williams, man, he's him.
I think it's Ben Johnson now that they got him over in Chicago, a great offensive mind. He's really unlocked something in that offense, and people are happy to be a Chicago Bears fan for the first time in a while. So I'm happy to see Caleb Williams finally perform to the best of his ability. I think it was a time coming, just like Bryce Young. It was time coming that they were going to perform well. And the Bills with the big bounce back win, they needed that one against a decent Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So they're back. Josh Allen seems to be playing really well. Could have been better at times, I think, throughout the game, but I think that's my biggest takeaways from the NFL this week. The Seattle Rams game, I think week 17, I think that's going to determine who's going to win the NFC. Unless the Bears keep playing how they're doing, which I want to check the schedule just to see how I think they're going to do. Because again, I'm just absolutely shocked that Chicago Bears are playing this
team.
well. Yeah, 9-3 right now. I think they have a quite easy schedule the rest of the way too. Oh yeah, their big matchup is they got a couple big matchups in December. They play the Packers at Green Bay at Lambeau, and they play the Browns, which should be a win. That Browns offense is atrocious. Shador is ugh.
Shador sucks, bro.
Yeah, he's not good.
horrible. Did you see someone asked him, "Oh, what were your opinions on like the play call going for 4th and 1 or something like multiple times and not getting it?" He was like, "Hey, man, I'm just happy to be playing." And I'm like, "Yeah, because you suck."
So-
Respectfully.
I think looking at the
Like,
Bears,
not respectfully, obviously. Like, your dad basically gave you your shot to play football, and you kind of just sold it.
oh yeah. And I'm continuing about the Bears. They play the Packers at Green Bay this weekend, and then they play the Browns at home, Packers again, but Packers are on the road this time. 49ers and then the Lions. So it could be that's a little bit of a gauntlet to me. Facing the Packers twice and then facing the Lions and then the 49ers. That's a bit of a gauntlet. So we'll see. At that point, I don't think it's going to be whoever's the top seed in the NFC West is going to be, excuse me, the number one seed in the NFC. Oh my gosh. Got like burps now. Is going to be the number one team in the NFC. So we'll see. I mean, that was a wake up call for the Rams to see, in my opinion, who the top dog is in the NFC because I'm looking at the playoff standings in the NFC real quick. I am not very high on the Bears. I'm not very high on the Eagles, and the Bucks are not healthy. I do think whoever's going to win the NFC West is going to be the number one seed in the number one seed in the NFC is going to be the winner of the NFC West. So we'll see. We shall see. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this week of NFL. And then we have about 20 minutes left, so we'll do about 10 minutes on um college basketball now. And I think the first thing I want to talk about is how successful the players era was. That's something that I think college basketball fans needed was Feast Week to finally happen, and Feast Week had a lot of good games. But the players era was intense, and I love seeing those games. And it was just high intensity game. I told my dad when we were watching a few of the games, it gave me vibes of March Madness because those are the top dogs playing each other, and those are the teams that are gonna be in March Madness. And I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but one of my big takeaways from that players era was Michigan. They dominated the whole thing, won the extra 1 million in NIL money for their team. And another team that I'm interested to see how they perform the rest of the year because it's only going to get harder from here. St. John's does not look good. They look really bad.
When Iona plays St. John's, not gonna say Iona's gonna win by like 1,000,000 points, but it could be close.
It could be close because St. John's just has no identity. They don't look good.
They in the first few games it was like, okay, they can score, they can't play defense. Now they just can't do anything.
No.
Like they
I told my dad, I don't know if you agree with me. I said that St. John's right now is the Colorado of college basketball. They're there for the lights, and that's it. I see a world where they're for the lights and underperform heavily this year. I
and they
think
lost to Auburn, beating Baylor, but that's not really a
Baylor's
flex.
no, that's not a flex at all.
Beating Bucknell by 50, which you should be doing. Beating William and Mary by 33 after a really sluggish start was kind of a warning sign, right? Or like you got to pick it up. But you basically you lose to every ranked opponent you've played so far. I think it's proven that they can't really do much.
No. And a team that I was surprised kept it close this weekend, Dayton keeping it close with BYU.
Until the end, and BYU obviously pulling it out. But Dayton,
They're doing this without I guess one of their better scoring options in Adam Najai, who's still out with eligibility issues.
As like the whole
gambling thing going on. But I mean, when you play in Feast Week games, the games are always going to be close.
There's no like projected time of him returning. So
No, I think he's done for the year. I don't think he's going to play a single game, especially if he hasn't played yet. It's going to be tough to implement him in the offense, especially this late in the
you know
year.
who could use him? St. John's.
St. John's, I would be shocked. That would not surprise me if they go after him next year. But a team that I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I know I mentioned Michigan already. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of UConn this year. They look really good. That offense is finally rounding about, and it's the scary part is they haven't really been fully healthy yet and haven't had a nice stretch of games where they're all playing together. And that team could be really scary. They beat Illinois on Friday, I think it was.
Who does not look good at all?
Who?
Florida.
Oh, Florida looks awful. They don't look good at all.
They got their one productive game from Xavier Lee, like who's the poster boy transfer from Princeton, went to Gainesville. And I was like, oh, they're gonna go back to back. He's gonna be the next. Like I thought it was gonna be, Walter Clayton Jr. reincarnated with Xavier Lee. I thought Todd Golden went after Xavier Lee because he saw like a Walter Clayton Jr. esque player in Xavier Lee. But no, this is horrible.
No, they're Xavier Lee and Boogie Flan both look very underwhelming to start the year. I know we still got about 2 weeks left until conference play begins officially for the nation.
Iona begins conference play on
Friday.
Friday.
That's gonna
Hey,
that'd
pull
be a
up.
good one.
Iona Quinnipiac, 7 p.m. in the Heinz Center. Be there, be square.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about that Florida team. Providence is not a good team either, and Providence hung in there. I mean, only
TCU is horrible.
yeah, I mean, they were never projected to do anything good. Let me see what else I got on my notes for my itinerary of what I would like to talk about. But again, the thing I love about Feast Week is seeing games like the Pitt OSU game, Pitt winning on a half court buzzer beater, beating Ohio State, which is crazy.
Did you see the big game? And this is going to prove if Florida is really the deal. They play Duke tomorrow night at Duke.
I think it's at the Garden.
Is it?
Let me see.
No,
No, it's
at
home.
Duke.
It's at Duke. Okay, I'm thinking of one of the games there. Oh, yeah, Florida's on at the Garden. What day are they at the Garden? They're at the game. They're at the Garden versus UConn. That's what it is. That's going to be another good game. I still really like UConn in that game because Florida, very, 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 very underwhelming. I mean, yeah. So we start conference play in 2 weeks, but it looks like the Power Fives don't start until they cross over the new year.
The Big East as a whole is horrible.
Oh, the Big East is atrociously bad. Like, look, we can look at their standings real quick. It's just awful to see.
7-1. Seton Hall is the best team in the Big East. That should tell you something about.
Yeah, the Big East has been very, very underwhelming. Yeah, the best team, Seton Hall, followed by Butler, and then I mean, UConn is going to be the number one in that. UConn's going to have to carry them. St. John's is sitting
in,
at
like,
what?
8th or something.
Yeah, that's Providence 4-4. Like, I don't even know. And those were like mostly bye games, right? That why they're 7-1.
I think Dan Hurley or I think Patino scheduled that so that they would all be blowouts, and they've lost most of them.
I know the Players Era was like tough because you're facing really good teams during the Players Era tournament. Like when you look at the Players Era, they face off against number 15 Iowa State. They face off against Baylor, which should be a win, and they lose against Auburn. So I mean, in my opinion, I can't really tell what the St. John's team is yet. But I think they're still going to be like high, not even high, low 20s. I think when the rankings drop this week, I think they're one loss away from being dropped out of the top 25.
I would be surprised if they didn't already get dropped off like after.
I mean, it's tough to say because all their losses were against ranked teams, right? They were lost against Bama, who was 15th in the nation. Iowa State, who was also 15th in the
They
nation.
aren't horrible losses.
No, Auburn losing by 11. Yeah, I mean, they're not terrible losses. They're beating who they should beat. They play Ole Miss later in the week, and then they play Iona next Saturday. DePaul.
Oh,
So-
that game's next Saturday. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so I mean, if they want to keep their hopes alive, they gotta hope and pray. I mean, they're projected to blow out Ole Miss, but if they lose to Ole Miss, there needs to be some conversations had in that locker room of
Horrible.
what's going on. There needs to be some culture change there. And looking at Iona, Paradise Jam, that closed up. Really bad loss to Green Bay, but that was
Beating
last
Oregon
week.
State, I was talking to Toby Harris, who's one of our basketball players this year, and he was saying that like the rims were horrible there. Like they couldn't get anything to fall. Like I was watching the Akron game. We lost to Akron by like 20 something points, but Akron they hit every shot they took. Like they would go down.
I mean,
like,
Akron's a good team.
Yeah, and then Green Bay obviously not what you want to do. And tonight, the Gales travel to Newark, Delaware, to take on the Fighting Blue Hens.
So definitely will be a good game to watch. I think they're on Flow or ESPN. I don't even know what
ESPN
they're.
Plus.
So I think hopefully that's a win for us, and we'll be able to
Head
see
into
it.
head into the Quinnipiac game and then St. John's next Saturday.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
And we'll close out quickly in the NBA and one kind of signing with the MLB. We'll get into Lakers continue to just play insane basketball. They have 3 insane scorers on the team. They got LeBron, Austin Reeves has taken a major leap this year, even though he's been always a solid player. And then you got Luka Doncic. He's doing Luka Doncic things, and that team chemistry right now is great. I love the post game interview with Luka and AR.
19-6 run.
I love seeing Luka mess with the AR. AR saying he dunked more times this year than Luka in the post game press conference. Both of them laughing about it, and then Luka saying, "Oh yeah, he dunked more times than me," but just joking around like, "Yeah, he could dunk more, but he just doesn't want to play defense." And they
That's
were just laughing it
crazy.
off. So that team chemistry is there this year. I think
I think they're gonna be good.
Nico Harrison really blessed that Lakers team. He got fired. He lost his job because of it. And oh man, the Lakers are looking to be dangerous, and now they got their future AR and Luka Doncic now, and they're going to be a problem for a long, long time. And a team that's fallen off after a hot start was the Chicago Bulls. Everyone was so high on them after 5-0 starts. Like, could this be the year that they're finally on a playing team? Nope, they're still the most average playing team of all time. No matter who they get, they're going to be a playing team year after year.
Did you see Josh Giddey almost getting into a fist fight with a fan because a fan was like making a joke or something? And Josh Giddey goes up to him and goes, "You're making jokes about crap you don't understand. You don't know crap about." And
I mean, fans feel way too comfortable sometimes.
also, Josh Giddey cannot be talking. He has done some very questionable stuff.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
Yeah,
Especially.
we're not going to get into it.
And then another good game this weekend was Anthony versus Jaylen Brown. Both of those guys went ballistic on Friday. Both of them I think dropped like, I know Edwards dropped 40. I think Jaylen Brown also dropped 40 that game. Let me just check. But that was another good game, back and forth battle. Both those teams really
Jaylen
playing
Brown
well.
Gets triple double at Celtics LS Cavs 117, 115. Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, that was a big game Sunday for us.
I was watching Eli Ellis, who's a freshman at South Carolina. He's kind of a celebrity. He went to OTE, Young Dreamers. His dad coaches the team. His brother just decommitted from South Carolina and reclassed to the class of 2027. They compare. They told me. I was reading something this morning. It was like, if Eli Ellis can make it to if Peyton Pritchard can make it to the league, anyone can.
Oh no, I wouldn't even. Peyton Pritchard's he's a dog. But back to the Celtics and Wolves. Yeah, Jaylen Brown dropping 40 and Edwards also dropping 40. That game was back and forth. Celtics leading by as much as 12. Wolves leading as much as 12. It was really that third quarter that really pushed it over the top for the Timberwolves, outscoring the Celtics by 12. But overall, it was a great game. I couldn't be upset with that one. Like 4 double-digit scores for the Celtics in a really high-scoring game. Same thing, 5 double-digit scores for the Timberwolves. So Timberwolves are picking it up now. I'm glad to see, because NBA does well when the Timberwolves do well because of Anthony Edwards. And a team that might ruin the NBA, I also want to get into real quick, is the Los Angeles Clippers. Bradley Beal's out for the year. Kawhi decides whatever games he plays and what he wants to. And James Harden is doing everything in his power right now to stop OKC from getting a top 5 pick, because OKC has LA's pick this year, and it's looking like it's going to be a top 5 pick. And OKC is only going to get better. And they have the leverage now if they want to trade that pick. And the Thunder right now are on pace for one of the best NBA seasons ever. They've lost 1 game so far this year. They are either 19-1 or 20-1. I think they're let me see. I want to make sure I get that right. 20-1, and we are officially in December. And they have the Clippers pick. If we look at the standings right now in the Western Conference, the Clippers are 5-15. So they look like to have a projected top 7 pick, somewhere in that range. And the OKC Thunder are going to get that pick, which is absolutely ridiculous. The dynasty is going to be going on till like I'm 100 at this point with how many picks they have. And the Thunder, man, they're going to go back to back. I think I would love to see a rematch between Jokic and SGA. I know we got that last year, but
20-1 is insane.
They're insane.
Team to beat right now.
Oh, 100% the team to beat.
And then the Knicks, 13-6, kind of turning it around with 4 straight wins.
It was a big win against the Bucks
I
too,
think,
especially with Giannis
yeah,
being back.
I think that they can continue this with the Celtics first on Tuesday,
What's gonna? We'll see.
8 p.m. and the Hornets, Jazz, Magic, Raptors. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm kind of biased, but I think the Knicks are gonna make a run for it in the Eastern. I don't know if
They got to play better basketball. I know they've done well the last few games, but they haven't played the best opponents. So that was a big
Pistons
win.
are really good too.
I mean, they did beat the Raptors, so I'll give them that. The Raptors were hot, one of the better teams in the NBA so far this year to start the year. Underdog and shocking team has been really performing well. And then another crazy game for Jokic, dropping like 24 on 100% shooting, almost a triple double. Like this Jokic is just ridiculous. I mean, he's one of a kind. And it's great to see Jokic perform the way he does because he drops almost 30-point triple doubles every single day. And then another player who's picking it up and had his best game, I think, of the season this past weekend was Cooper Flag dropping 35 points. He's going to be the face of Dallas, and I think
They're horrible, though.
they're really bad. I mean, that's just something to watch out for. I think Cooper Flag, it's going to be him or Con Kneppel for NBA Rookie of the Year. It's going to be cool seeing two Duke teammates going at it the rest of the way to really fight for that Rookie of the Year race. And another MLB signing that took place since we are closing in on our time here is Halsey going to the Orioles. The Mets gave up a lot to get him, and then they just let him walk because he was atrocious last year for their team. And Orioles needed pitching. Now they're getting pitching, but they need a starter. So we'll see if they get any starting pitching. So only time will tell. And winter meetings, I think, are this week. So it'll be cool to see. A lot of stuff is going to heat up. The hot stove is really going to heat up. Let me just double check and make sure that is correct. No, I looked up hot stove instead of MLB winter meetings. So yeah, it's taking place over the weekend from the 7th to 11th in Orlando, Florida.
We'll see what happens.
So hopefully we get some big news. A couple of players from Japan are posted. So we'll see if any of the New York teams get them because I know they're linked to them where Kyle Tucker goes, where Cody Bellinger goes. Framber Valdez, another big free agent. If there's any big trades like a Corey Seager getting dealt, a Fernando Tatis getting dealt, a Paul Skeens getting dealt, a Tariq Skubal getting dealt. I think one of those aces are going to get dealt, and I think it's going to be Skubal because the Tigers can't pay Skubal. And I would request out if I'm Skubal because I don't know if you're going to win in the AL. So only time will tell. And do you have anything else to say? I think we could wrap up.
Yeah, I think that's it. We wish everyone a happy and healthy Christmas break. And we'll be back next semester.
Hopefully, same time on Mondays.
Hopefully, same time Mondays for the weekend sports recap. Isaiah, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
And yeah, hopefully everyone has a good holiday. If you're an Iona student or a student in college, we hope you have a good rest of your semester. Get your finals done. Study hard. Take care of yourselves because this time is going to be pretty hectic with things going on. But yeah, I think that just about wraps it up.
So thank you guys again for tuning in to all the shows this semester. It's been a joy talking to you guys, and hopefully we get to be back at the same time. We'll be back. NFL will be nearing its end once we're back. College basketball will be in full swing. NBA is in full swing right now, and hopefully we'll be able to recap quickly all the big signings and all the big trades that happened over the winter meetings once we're back in about a month.
And lacrosse will be
half.
starting up, college lacrosse.
So we'll get into that. And thank you guys again so much for listening and tuning in. I'm Isaiah Rosero for the last time this semester signing off, along with my co-host, Nick Gualtieri. Uy.